Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome to the draw for the Northern Ireland Open. It's a ranking event, so high stake points, part of the B series. I'm just going to go through that draw with you very quickly to be played tonight. Tonight, Monday, is the B series official night. So these will take priority. And as you may see in the description on the video you're watching, and also in the event, the reminder event that I put in, Rafa Elhagen is seed 1. As the defending champion. Mohamed Fawzi is seed 2 as the highest world ranking player who has entered. Jamie Anderson is seed 3 as the second highest entrant in the world rankings, and Mike Mora is seed 4 as the second highest ranked player who has entered. The rest will be drawn randomly. And just bear with me for a moment. I just want to check something here. One moment, please. I'm just checking here with Nikos Gerolis, who I think maybe want to play in the tournament. So I'm just checking. Will be a second. I'm just interacting here with Nikos Gerolis, so please bear with me. Just seeing if he wants to take part in tonight's event. Okay, so Nikos Gerolis will also take part. So I'm just going to adjust that. And I'll make the draw very shortly. So what I just need to do is just a few quick things. I'll do that. Save it. Go to tournament. Okay. So Nikos Gerolis will be playing as well. So back to the seedings. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. All the rest will be random. So we're about to make that draw. Just the participants that are playing are as follows: the defending champion, Rafa Elhagen; the number 2 seed, Mohamed Fawzi; the number 3 seed, Jamie Anderson; number 4 seed, Mike Mora. Then the rest of the players: Alan Lockett, Chris Stedman, Ken Hopper, Nikos Gerolis, Papadas Mixel, Pat Mustard, Ronnie Temple, Tim Porter, and Wim de Ruiter. All hard games, very difficult to decipher who may or may not win. So I'm going to make the draw now. I'm just going to press the create match schedule, and that will create the draw. Rafa Elhagen and Mohamed Fawzi probably will not have a game tonight because they probably will get a bye. But after 3, I'm going to press the blue button, and this will determine the draw. So 3, 2, 1. I pressed the button, and there we go. So we have Rafa Elhagen gets a walkover, Mohamed Fawzi gets a walkover, and Jamie Anderson, third tee, gets a walkover. So the draw is Rafa Elhagen gets a bye. Nikos Gerolis will play Chris Stedman. Papadas Mixo will play Wim de Ruiter. Alan Lockett will play Mike Mora. Ken Hopper will play Tim Porter. And Ronnie Temporal will play Pat Mustard. And Jamie Anderson gets a walkover, and Mohamed Fawzi gets a walkover. So that's the draw. It's all matches are first to 2. And please remember that if you are worried about glitches or points, you can use the original version, but the home player, the player who is first on the listing, gets the final say about where you play. So that's the end of the draw. Any questions, just give me a shout in, David. Just send a message to David Badaquill, or discuss anything in the green room, and I'm sure I will reply to that. But that is the end of the draw for the Northern Ireland Open. This is every Monday, is the B Series. And we can just have a quick look actually at the B Series table, ranking table. And there we have the B Series ranking table. Excuse me. At the moment, Mike Mora is just ahead on 75 points. And then it's Papadas Mixol in second with 68, and Wim de Ruiter with 45. So 60 points for the winner, 30 points for second, 15 for third place in the B Series. And we have the North. This is the Northern Ireland. Then we have the Scottish Open as the final tournament for this year, and then there will be other B Series tournaments into next year, which will be added soon. And there is the full list of players for this tournament, for this series. Nick Davis has not been entered because until we can get confirmation about his reliability and his ability to communicate, etc. So, Nick, if you are watching this, please just interact with me and just give me an update on where you are. But that is the end of the draw for the Northern Ireland Open. Matches can be played from 7 o'clock, and as I do this, I'm just going to actually put the tables in. So Nikos Gerolis versus Chris Stedman. I just need to check actually Nick's table. And so Nikos Gerolis' table is number 14. Obviously, you don't necessarily have to play table 14, but that's the scoreboard. 28, I'll just put 7 o'clock. So from 7 o'clock onwards is the main playing time. Just have a quick look, see if there's any comments. Ken there, just thank you, Ken. I can see your comment there. How can you swap between versions? Players will need to know this information. Can you, Ken, can you let me know what you mean by that? How can you swap between what versions of what? Variants? You mean versions? The time we play, 14, Nikos. I said table 14. Um, you arrange the time with your player between to be played between 7 and 11. 11 o'clock is the final default time, so you can play whenever you. Now is the time to arrange the time with your opponent. I've not put up a poll to do that yet, but I will do that if needed. Um, so hope that answers your question. Nikos Jolis, your table is number 14 for the season. That's the table that you play your home matches. And Papadas Mixol is table 6. Let me just actually do that. If you have any questions while I'm alive, please ask them in the actual comments of the video, please, on Facebook. Let me have a look at this comments. Comments, yeah. So Ken's got a question. Is there one version, HMTL, or both versions, including Flash, still running? I got confused when you said the home player has the choice of version to play. Um, well, you have the original version. Let me just have a look here. So if I just so if you can see this, if you have the original version. So when you sign on to the Flash version, sorry, when you go to Flash Snooker, obviously it will load like this. The Flash version, you will press log into Facebook, and then you will go into the HTML5, is it? For pressing log. But if you this one here, and I've left a post yesterday about this. If you press that version, that's the original version, and then you might get this white page. So this is what happens. You'll get this white. This is on desktop, of course. You might get this white thing, but what I tend to do, what I've been doing, is you just press refresh. I've just pressed refresh now, and then it will come up, and you get the original game. It doesn't have the misrule on it, and the dimensions are slightly different, but it's maybe an option if you want to choose that. But the home player has the final say, so the player on the listing needs to agree if someone wants to play on that. Actually, I'm just waiting to see if it's connecting. Just try again with that. I'm just going to. So you press Flash Snooker. Just going to check the messages. No messages there yet. So refresh. Obviously, there's been a bit. So there's been questions. Well, um, the makers of the games, Tim and Brandon, obviously they're kind of working on how to solve the problem of the glitches, but obviously it's difficult for them to identify what's causing the glitches. So any feedback you can give them about when it tends to happen. So it seems as though the original version is now not available again for some reason, whether they're testing on it or what. So you will probably have to play on the normal version. And don't forget, if you do play in the normal version, then you have to accept uh, that there may be a glitch. And if you do use the miss rule and you're not given points, then you just have to accept that as well. There really shouldn't be any kind of adding of points or saying, "Well, I have 5 points to be added onto the final score." It's just not. It's not doable because depending on if your opponent is in front and he just needs, he puts the next few balls and then that means you need snookers or it means that you can't win. And then how do you decide how to restart the match, etc. Um, you just have to play and take it. And I'm open to solutions about that, about what can be done. If there's a straightforward way that everyone can follow in terms of misrule points not being added, etc., and how we actually deal with that, then people can let me know or can make suggestions. Thanks, Ken. Thanks for asking. Um, let's just go back to. So I'm just going to be filling out these tables. If you have any more questions, please let me know, and I can answer it straight away. I might actually do this again. Do like a Q&A or kind of a little podcast and invite players to come and have a chat. Table. So Nikos table 14 between him and Chris Stedman. Papadakis table 6, of course. And then we've got 4 times champion Alan Lockett is table 7. He plays Mike Mora, tough match. Mike Mora is table 5. That's his table for the season. And the leader in the B series, Mike Mora. So he'll be looking to continue his good start to this series. Then we have Ken Hopper. Ken Hopper's table is it 10? It's Ken's. Let's go back. Ken is number 11. So Ken is table 11. There's another thing players might be wondering, especially the higher seeds. Obviously, again, Jamie Anderson and Mo, and in this case, Rafa, although this doesn't tend to happen to Rafa too often. But Jamie doesn't have a match to play. Now, obviously, I'm sure he's not going to dispute the fact that he goes into the quarterfinal automatically. But obviously, probably might be slightly frustrating that the start of the tournament, he does have a match again tonight. But I suppose that's just being part of the higher seeds. I don't know whether we should allow a player to kind of release their seeding or say they don't want to be a seed, or we just do a random draw. But that gets a bit more complicated. That's something that has to be discussed and properly thought out before we do that. And then we have Tim Porter v Ken is table 11. And then we have Ronnie Temporal versus Pat Mustard. And Ronnie Temple is unlucky for some 13. And there you can see in the quarterfinal, Rafa Elhagen in match 9 awaits the winner of Nikos Gerulus and Chris Stedman. And the winner of Papadas Mixol and Wim de Ruiter will play the winner of Alan Lockett and Mike Mora in quarterfinal match 10. Jamie Anderson will play the winner of Ken Hopper and Tim Porter, and Ronnie Temple or Pat Mustard will play Mohammed Fawzi. So I'm now going to open these tables. So the scoreboards are now open. So what you need to do, if you're not sure, is sorry, I've just lost one of my pages now. Just need to bring that back if I can. So this is the home page for the online snooker club, and you'll always find at the top, the first post is the useful links. You've got daily flash tourneys that are now back on, scoreboards. I'll come to that in a second. You have the match hub, which also has other information on it. Head to head, Q score, obviously where you enter and you can see the tables, player times. that that needs to be adjusted, but that basically gives an idea of roughly the times plays have indicated. And then you have ILMP if you want to just have a random match between players. Between 3 and 8 players can play in that. You just click on that and you can go to you will open the spreadsheet up, and then you can invite people to play with you if you want. But let's go back to scoreboards. So as I said, once you're on the Facebook group main page, the first the first link, so the first post you'll see is useful links, and there you've got scoreboards. So press scoreboards, and then you'll see a list of your scoreboards, the players and the scoreboards that you have. So let's say Nikos Gerulus is number 14. So if we click onto that, and then you see that the scoreboard is ready and waiting for it to be adjusted with him and Chris Stedman whenever they play. And hopefully that's straightforward. And let's just go back. So once you do that scoreboard, it will automatically put the score into Q score. What else can I? Head to head. I'll just show the head to head while we're here. If you press on head to head, then you'll get this. And if you go, you'll see here in yellow, choose here. That's the only button that you can press. So you just click on that, double click on the arrow. Sorry, yeah. My mouse is a bit wonky, so so let me just adjust something here because this needs to be alphabetalized. So I just need to do something here, just a technical thing. Okay, I can take that off now. So yeah, you just click on, once you're on, then you go down to the match. So let's say Nikos Gerulus versus Chris Stedman, which is the first match. Just go down to in alphabetical order. So Nikos so based on the 3 short codes. So CRS is the first. It will always be alphabetical in terms of the listing. So for Nikos, Gerolos, and for NGA and CRS, CRS will always be first. So there we've got CRS. And has he played? Well, there we go. There. So you press that, and it comes up on the screen that here that they played 3 times, and Nikos has won 3 times, and he's won 11 frames. So 10 frames to one in terms of frames between the two, and these are points. You get 1 point for a match win, and you get 0.01 points for a frame win, and that is just the odds to win the next match is just kind of based on percentages. It's not that accurate, to be fair, but it just gives an idea. The last match that these two players played was a 4-0 win by Nikos in EPL 2. So let's just let's have a look at the other matches. Have a little bit of time so we can check. So Papadakis v Wim. Now it won't take into account. I think the last match, it still needs to be updated. It's up to a certain area. So let's choose Papadakis and Wim. So that'll be PMX will be first. So they played 4 times. Let's have a look. So they played in the final of the English Open. 2-0 win for Papadakis, but they played 4 times, and they might have played since then. So once it's updated, but you can see here the last recorded match on this head-to-head was the final of the English Open. They played in the China Open, 6-5 win for Pim. So I appreciate it's probably not exactly up to date. I just need to fill in a few more scores. But up until this point, up until the English Open, Papa had won 3 and Wim had won 1, and 16-3 in frames. And the last 3 matches, so it's 2-1 to Papadakis. So let's have a look at the next one. Alan Lockett versus Mike Moore. Now this should have quite a lot of matches. Obviously, both players have been playing for quite a while now, at least 4 years, I would say. So Alan Lockett will be first. ALK versus MKM. So there you go. They played 22 times, and Mike has won 12 of them. Alan Lockett has won 8. They've played 140 frames. This is, of course, in OSC matches. 140 frames, 73 to 67 overall. So Mike has the slight advantage. Their last match was in the International Championship a few weeks ago, and was it 2019? And Mike won 3-0. So Alan's got a bit of catching up to do, but you can see all the matches they played. The very first match was a 3-1 win by Lockett in EPL 3. Remember the EPLs? Let's see if there's Ken's said difficult to solve a misreal fair comment, just take as it happens. Yeah, I think that's all we can do at the moment, Ken. Obviously we're just waiting on Tim and Brandon to try and sort this out. Let's have a look. So let's have a look. I don't think well, we've got Ken and Tim Porter. Let's see if they've played each other yet. I think they have. So Ken will be first. Ken will be first. There, Ken v Tim. It's recorded that Ken has won 1 match that they played. Obviously, they've got a match going on in the China Championship, but Ken won the only recorded match in the English Open round one, 2-1 win. But also, just while I'm here, if you see at the bottom, I don't know if you can see that, but at the bottom of this sheet, you have head to head and you have event selector. So if you go into event selector, and then you see a list of players, and you choose again, you choose where it says yellow. You choose a tournament. So what tournament is this we're playing? We're playing the Northern Ireland Open. So Northern Ireland Open. So if you choose the Northern Ireland Open, and then it will tell you the percentage record of players. So Rafael Hagen 100%, but that doesn't really mean anything because we've only played one Northern Ireland Open in the past. So the last Northern Ireland Open, Mushtaq Ahmed, who unfortunately is not playing this season, it seems to be at the moment. It says Mohammed 100%. Mohammed 151. 165. Result, what was that? Semi-final. Right. Well, that needs updating, but I think you get the idea. Obviously, I'll try and keep it updated. Let's have a look at the one that's just played. What we just played, English Open. Let's try the English Open. Wherever that is, English Open. So the English Open, Alan Lockett has a 71% result record on that. He's played 7 matches, won titles. He's won 1 title. Ken Hopper has played 3 matches in the English Open. He's won 2. He's not won any titles, and then it gives you a list of the matches for that tournament. So it gives you an idea really of if you really want to check or just have a look at stats just for a bit of banter or whatever, or just to check out your record. But that's basically the head-to-head. Let's just finish off with the other options, the other scores. So Ken and Tim, so that's 1-0. And Ronnie and Pat, they've not played. I know that because Pat Mustard has not played in. He's only just started. He's played 1 match, I think. But that's basically the head-to-head for that. So. And Ken is asking, can you send Nikos the link to the homepage? Homepage of what? Homepage of Q Score. It's there. It's on when you go to. It's there. The first post at the top on online snooker. You've got Q Score here. That's the homepage for Q Score. Papadakis, the latest winner of the English Open. Upcoming tournaments, you've got the UK Championship starting on November the 14th. That's long format matches. The Canadian Open is the tournament after, is the Wednesday C Series. Oh, no, actually, it's a D Series. So that's after the China Championship. Belgium Classic is the C Series after, that must be after the World Open. And the Scottish Open is the B Series Monday night first to 2 tournament after the Northern Ireland Open. So the current tournaments going are the Northern Ireland Open, China Championship, World Open, and the Premier League, of course, which is every Sunday. And the rankings. So the world rankings for the last 12 months are there. Jasper Kuzman, who is limited this season, I think. I'm not sure how many tournaments he's going to play. Potentially, he might play the World Championship, or might play the UK Championship, or one of the big ones. I don't know. But so we just have to presume that he's probably not going to be playing that many. But I, he may just keep an eye on his ranking and might play if he needs to. But they're the rankings so far. Mohammed 2, Jamie Anderson number 3, seed, world rank player, and Mushtaq Hamid. He's not been playing yet. Mike Moore number 5, and these are based on the table, your scoreboards and tables for the season. In that sense, go back to, let me have a look at the questions again, see if anyone's asked how to get on Q score. You said thank you, so I'm presuming actually if I can actually show that Ken Hopper how to get on Q score, and hopefully I've explained that to you, Ken. And he said thank you there. You see. Okay, so glad I've answered that question. Any more questions? Just give me a shout. Nearly at the end, but if you can get a question in before I leave. Yeah, so this is the main. When you go onto Online Snooker Club group, the first post has useful links: Q Score, RMP, Match Hub, scoreboards, daily flash tourneys, etc. And actually, just to mention this as well, so this is the main page for Online Snooker Club. You have the main photograph, which is the world rankings. I might change that now and again. But if you see here on the right, you can see that you have topics. So Kasperi Riga Masters, World Championship, finals, videos, winners. So, for example, if you press winners, again, and it will give you all the posts connected to the winners. So Papadakis won the English Open, and then Tim Porter won the International Championship. Mike Mora won the Riga Masters, and then back into last season, Jasper Kuzman won the World Championship. Before that, Mohammed won the China Open. Before that, Jasper Kuzman beat Jamie Anderson in the Tour Championship. Jasper Kuzman won the Players Championship. Jamie Anderson won the Shootout. Mushtaq won the Indian Open. Mushtaq won the Gibraltar Open. Mike Mora won the Welsh Open. Mohammed won the World Grand Prix. Mushtaq won the German Masters. Rafat there winning the Northern Ireland, and he's defending his title. This time. But yeah, if you go onto those topics, it might be a good way of finding out stuff. I do need to. There are a lot of them, so you can actually, when you go onto the topics, you can go alphabetically if you're looking for anything particular. You got the different tournaments. Still being dealt with, and it's been fine tuned, but hopefully you can find what you're looking for by pressing this. I do try and put a topic on it when I do a post, and players just to say, pl- and welcome players to write their own posts in the group. Whether it's a question or you just want to say something or have a bit of banter or whatever, or you have a suggestion. Feel free to make posts and get a good conversation going, keep everyone up to date, and so yeah. So anyway, so that's the link. So the topics are quite useful, and I will continue to use them, which you can do. And of course, you've got events. These are just reminders. But anyway, I've gone quite into that, haven't I? But that's basically it. I'm just going to see if there's any other questions. No other questions. Well, that's basically it. I'm just going to check in the green room. Yeah, Nick Davis uh, just doesn't have the setup at the moment. It seems to be able to play regularly, and obviously we need players who do enter to fulfil the criteria, um, which is basically one match a week. Obviously, if you enter the B series like tonight, you're expected to play every Monday. If you don't play on the Monday, then you need to let your opponent and OSC know on the Monday before Monday finishes when you can play it, and to arrange when it's going to be played, and it shouldn't conflict with any other matches. And Tuesday you've got the D series, the first of four tournaments, and Wednesday is the first three C series, and Thursday will be for the T series, which is the long format matches. That will be on a weekly basis as well, every Thursday. So it can get quite jammed, or crammed, I think is the word I'm looking for. Going up to Christmas, especially November, is going to be quite crammed in terms of tournaments. So especially those who are in all the tournaments. Um, but anyway, that's the end of this broadcast. So just to recap, Rafa Elhagen has a walkover. Nikos Geoulis will play Chris Stedman. Papadas Mixer will play Wim de Ruiter. And I've just realised that Papadakis and Wim de Ruiter seem to be playing each other quite a lot, and I'm going to check that actually. Not this specifically, but I'm just going to make sure that these are definitely random, because I think they've played each other about 4 times now in the last few weeks. Um, so Alan Lockett, Mike Mora, Ken v Tim, and Ronnie Temple versus Pat Mustard. First to two, guys. Please fill in the home players on the left. Please fill out the scoreboard, and the away players on the right. Please update when you started in the results chat, and the result. And ideally, if you can keep the live score going as well after each frame. So I'm just going to finally look. I think I can see a few messages coming through, a few posts, a few comments. Yeah, Wim saying 4 times in 8 days. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's random. So I don't know if that's telling you anything, but all depends on the seeding and stuff. But it is random for the other players other than the top 4 seeds. Okay, so that's the end of this broadcast. Thanks for watching. Good luck to all players, and keep gentlemanly conduct. Find a solution if there's any issues, and Let's have a good tournament. Thank you for watching. Speak soon.